Why you can't focus in class even when you desperately want to. You walk into class, you sit down, you tell yourself, today I'm going to focus. 5 minutes in, your mind is somewhere else. You bring it back, 3 minutes later, it's gone again. You have been doing this your entire school career, and you still don't know why. Here's what nobody told you: your brain didn't fail you in that classroom. The apps on your phone trained it to operate this way. Let me show you exactly how. By the end of this conversation, you are going to understand something most students never figure out. It's not about your intelligence, it's not about how much you care, it's not about whether you slept enough or sat at the front of the class or made a better timetable. Those things matter, but they're not the reason. The reason is something that happened gradually, over years, so slowly you never noticed it was happening. Your brain has been rewired, not permanently, not irreversibly, but deeply enough that sitting in a 50-minute class now feels genuinely uncomfortable, even when you want to be there. I'm going to walk you through exactly what happened, why it happened, and what it actually means for you. By the end of this, you won't just understand your focus problem, you will understand something about how your brain actually works. And that changes everything. Stay with me because the most important part isn't at the beginning, it builds, and the third layer most students never hear is the one that actually matters. I want you to meet Arjun. Arjun is a grade 10 student, smart, genuinely cares about school. His parents aren't even that strict. He puts the pressure on himself. Every morning before school, Arjun checks Instagram. Maybe 15 minutes, a few reels, nothing dramatic. He puts the phone down and leaves for school. First period, chemistry. His teacher is good. The content is actually interesting, and Arjun knows this. He opens his notebook. 2 minutes passes. His eyes are on the board. His mind has left the room entirely. He's thinking about a reel he saw this morning, then what he'll have for lunch. Then he's watching a fly on the window. He catches himself, pulls his attention back to the board. 60 seconds later, gone again. By the end of the lesson, Arjun has written 4 lines. He understood most of what the teacher said in the moments he was present, but he can't reconstruct any of it now. He walks out of class and thinks, what is wrong with me? I want to answer that question because here's what's actually true about Arjun. Nothing is wrong with him. Everything that happened in that classroom was completely predictable because Arjun isn't struggling with focus the way someone struggles with a bad habit they can just decide to break. He's struggling with the focus the way someone struggles to run a marathon when all they have been doing for 3 years is sprints. His attentional system, the part of the brain that decides where to pay attention to and for how long, has been trained carefully, consistently, every single day, not by Arjun, by the apps on his phone. The three structured layers. Layer 1, the surface explanation. What most students think is happening. When they can't focus, they reach the same conclusion. I'm distracted, I need more discipline. And they reach for the same solution system. Phone in another room, blocking apps, 25 minutes timer, a new stricter timetable. Sometimes it works for a day or two, then it stops working, and the student is back where they started. staring at the board with their minds somewhere else. Here's why those solutions keep failing. They treat focus as a discipline problem, as if the issue is that you simply lack willpower, that you don't care enough, that if you just committed more seriously, everything would be fine. But willpower is not the problem. You have willpower. You prove it every time you drag your attention back to the board. Sometimes 20 times in a single lesson. That is willpower, right? You are spending it constantly and running out. The reason you keep running out is not a character flaw, it's architecture. Let's talk about layer 2, the deeper cause, what's actually happening psychologically. Here's where it gets interesting. Your brain has a system called the attentional network. It's not one single area, it's a collection of regions that work together to answer one question constantly. What deserves my focus right now? The system is trainable, like a muscle. And like a muscle, it responds to the specific demands you place on it. For the last several years, you have been placing a very specific demand on that system every single day. Every time you open TikTok, Reels, or YouTube Shorts, your brain received a report. Dopamine, the brain's signal for this matters, stay here. And here's the critical detail. That reward arrives every 8 to 15 seconds. Not minutes, seconds. New video, new sound, new face, new joke. New, 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 and every time a small hit of dopamine. Your attentional network learned something from this pattern. It learned if nothing new arrives within about 15 seconds, move on, because the next thing is always coming, and the next thing might be more important. This is called attentional capture. Your brain didn't become distracted, it became optimized for an environment that rewards rapid shifting, not sustained attention. And then you walked into a 50-minute chemistry lesson. No new sound every 15 seconds. No reward signal firing constantly. No dopamine telling your brain, keep paying attention here. So your brain does exactly what it was trained to do. It goes looking for something new. The fly on the window, the thought about lunch, the memory of this morning's video. Not laziness, not weakness, optimization for the wrong environment. Layer 3, the core insight. The unexpected realization most students never reach. Most students, when they hear this, arrive at the same conclusion. So I need to use my phone less. That's true, but it's not the insight I want you to leave. Because most students miss something here, something deeper. The problem is not just the phone. The phone is the training tool. The thing that's actually being changed is your tolerance for discomfort. Stay with me, this is important. When you are scrolling and something is slightly boring, you swipe. Immediately, no negotiation, no waiting it out. Discomfort arrives, and you eliminate it in under 1 second. You have practiced this thousands of times. So when discomfort arrives in class, when the content gets slightly dry or the teacher's voice becomes monotonous or you hit a concept that doesn't immediately click, your brain does the same thing. It tries to swipe. It tries to move away from the discomfort. The problem isn't that class is boring. The problem is that you have trained yourself to have near zero tolerance for the normal discomfort of sustained thinking. And here's why that matters. Real learning is uncomfortable. Real learning is sitting with confusion, following a logical argument even when your attention wants to drift, staying with something difficult long enough for it to actually make sense. That discomfort isn't a sign something is wrong. That discomfort is the sensation of your brain building new connections, and you have been trained to swipe away from it every time. Here's the last thing, the part that matters most. This isn't unique to you. This is happening to an entire generation of students simultaneously across every country, every school, every program. You are not behind, you are not broken. You are the product of an environment that was designed very deliberately by very intelligent people to capture your attention exactly this way. The engineers who built these apps understood attentional capture better than any school ever did, and they used it on all of us. So let me give you the one thing I want you to carry out of this conversation. You don't have a focus problem, you have a discomfort tolerance problem. And those are the different things. A focus problem sounds permanent, like something is structurally wrong with your brain. Like the answer is to try harder, concentrate more, discipline yourself into submission. A discomfort tolerance problem is trainable. You trained it down without even trying over years of swiping away from boredom, which means you can train it back up gradually, intentionally, not by throwing your phone away or forcing yourself through 6 brutal hours of study, but by slowly, deliberately increasing your ability to sit with difficult things without immediately escaping. The students who perform well in IB, not the ones with the best memory, not the naturally gifted, not the ones with the most resources, but are the ones who can sit with confusion the longest without panicking. That is a skill, not a talent. And every single time you feel that urge to check your phone, open a new tab, let your mind drift to something easier, and you don't. You are rebuilding something, one moment at a time. If this felt like I was describing you, you're not alone. Every student I have worked with has been through some version of what Arjun experienced. The ones who changed it were not the ones who tried hardest. They were the ones who finally understood what they were actually dealing with. That understanding is where everything starts. If you want to go deeper on this, join the Lumino community. The link is below. This is a space for students who want to understand not just what to study, but why their mind works the way it does. And next time, we are going to talk about something that surprises almost every student I bring it up with. Why the students who study the most aren't always the ones who perform best in exams, and what the students getting 7s are actually doing differently. You don't want to miss this that one. I'll see you there.